Friends play an important role in a person's life. They encourage when one is sad. They entertain when one is lonesome. And they listen when one has problems. Having a true friend is a great gift. Friends are a gift from God, and loyalty is one of the main qualities one looks when searching for friends. So today I have come with one interesting story named The King's Choice from Folk Tales, a story of a lion and his ministers, wherein Lion, the king of a jungle, who once failed to have his own court. Thereby, he himself chooses some animals as his ministers. The animals, as ministers, assure the king to arrange the lunch for him, but they miserably fail. Hence, they offer something to the king, which they actually did not want him to accept, but just to pretend that they were extremely loyal to the king. The king was very clever and would understand their dirty politics. Can you imagine what happened next? So let's begin the story. There was once a lion who was king of the forest. He was big and strong and very fierce. That means strong and aggressive. All the other animals in the forest called him king. They brought him gifts from every corner of the forest. But the more the lion had, the more he wanted. A king must have a court, he said to himself one day. He called the fox to his side. "You are known to be a wise and clever creature, fox," said the lion. "I want you to be my advisor." "Thank you, your majesty," said the fox, bowing low. The lion next called the leopard to his side. "You are known to be watchful and swift of foot, leopard. I want you to be my bodyguard." "Thank you, your majesty," said the leopard, bowing low. The lion then called a vulture to his side. "You are a bird vulture and can fly high. You are to be my messenger." "Thank you, your majesty," said the vulture, bowing low. The fox, the vulture, and the leopard took an oath of loyalty to the king. The king promised to give them food and protection. For some time, all went well in the court of Lion King. The three courtiers never opposed the king. His wishes were law. Whenever and wherever the king took a walk, they followed him. When the Lion King went hunting, they found the animals for him to kill. And after he had his meal, he left the remains for them. So they always had enough to eat. One day, the vulture came back from a flight. "Your Majesty, have you ever eaten a camel?" he asked. "It is very tasty. I ate it once in the desert." The lion had never seen a camel, but he liked the idea of trying camel's meat. "But where can we get a camel?" he asked. "There is a desert some miles away," said the vulture. "I was flying over it when I saw a lone camel not far away. It looked big and fat." The lion looked at his other advisors. They were wise and experienced. He wanted their opinion. Now the fox and the leopard did not know the desert, but they did not want the vulture to seem wiser than them. So they said, since it was the vulture's idea, he should lead the way. Early next morning, the lion and his court started off on the camel's hunt. They reached the edge of the desert easily, but after they left the shelter of the forest, the day became very hot. The sun shined down with fire-hot rays. High up in the cooler air, the vulture flew. "Hurry along," he called. "The camel is not far off." But the lion could not hurry anymore. The hot sand has burned his paw. He could go no further. "Stop!" he shouted to the others. "Let us go back to the forest. I do not care to try the camel's meat." The Lion King's advisors were frightened. The forest was far behind them, and they did not know how to get the lion back home. The leopard wanted to run away. The vulture wanted to watch and wait and eat the lion later on. But the clever fox thought of a plan. Off into the desert he ran, saying, "I will bring some help." After running for some time, the fox found the camel. The camel was indeed surprised to see him. "Hurry up, friend camel," said the fox. "Our king wants you at once." "Your king?" said the camel. "Who is that?" "I do not know any king. I only know my master, for whom I carry the goods across the desert." "Our king, the lion. He has killed your master," said the fox. "Now you are free, and the lion has invited you to live at his court. Come along." The camel followed the fox. When the fox and the camel reached the lion's camp, the vulture and the leopard were surprised. Even the lion looked pleased, in spite of his burnt paw. The camel was presented to the king. He agreed to serve the lion in return for a home at his court. "Get on the camel's back, your majesty," said the fox. "We will return home." The lion at once jumped onto the camel's back. His courtiers, the fox and the leopard, jumped up behind him. And with the vulture flying ahead as a guide, they set off on a long journey back to the forest. When the travelers reached the forest, they were all tired and hungry. The fox, the leopard, and the vulture looked at the camel. Then they looked at each other and smiled hungry smiles. They had brought the camel for the king's dinner. Now it was time for the feast. The Lion King knew what his courtiers were thinking. He called the camel to him. "Friend camel," he said, "I have to thank you for saving my life. You are welcome to live at my court as long as you like. I promise you my protection." The lion's courtiers were shocked. Had they not risked their lives so that he could try camel's meat? And the king wanted to let the camel leave? The courtiers were not pleased with his decision, yet they could do nothing. Now the lion's paw was so badly burnt that he could not go hunting. But that did not keep him from growing very hungry indeed. "Fox, leopard, vulture," he shouted, "don't you see that I am ill and hungry? Go and get some food." The courtiers had to obey the king. So out they went, but they did not go far. They sat down in a safe place and discussed what they could do. "I know," said the fox after a while. "We shall make the camel ask to be eaten." He told the others of his plan, and they all agreed. So back they went to the king. First, the vulture stepped forward. "Your Majesty," he said, going low, "we have found no food, but we cannot let your Majesty suffer. I am a poor creature. Eat me." The fox pushed the vulture aside. "I have more meat on me," he cried. "Eat me, your Majesty." Now the leopard rushed forward. "I'm not much good," he cried, "but I could make a meal for the king." The camel listened to all these offers. He must do as much, he thought. "Your Majesty," he said, "I am too willing to give my life for you. Please eat me instead of these old friends of yours, who will be more useful than I am." This was what the fox, the leopard, and the vulture were waiting for. They prepared to jump at the camel, but the lion stopped them. "You are all good and loyal subjects," he said. "My heart is touched by your offers. I accept them all. I shall eat you in the order in which you offered yourself." The vulture, the fox, and the leopard were shocked. Away flew the vulture. Away ran the fox and the leopard. They were never seen in the forest again. The lion laughed to see them go. Then he turned to the camel and said, "You have been loyal and good. You shall be my friend as long as we are alive." The camel was happy and grateful. The lion thought to himself, "To be king is good, but to be kind is better." So that's all about the story that tells us how with trick and cleverness, lion is able to find his true friend, which leaves other animals stunned, and they run away from the king's sight immediately. The moral of this story is, make wise decisions as the lion did in the story, and always trust the trustworthy. Remember, being loyal and honest is priceless. So if you wish to get such more interesting stories, press the red subscribe button and click on the bell icon to receive the latest updates. Do like, share and comment the video. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Happy learning.